Hello, my name is Kelvin Johnson, and this is my interpersonal communications project for Liberty University class HSCO 508. Some topics I will be discussing: overarching goals, enlarging the conversation, background behavior blends, interpersonal and communication barriers, internal and external noise pollution, and my plan of action. According to Stewart, the term interpersonal labels the kind of communication that happens when people involve talk and listen in ways that maximize the present of the personal. Interpersonal communication skills are learned behaviors that each individual can apply in order to be able to improve their relationships both on a personal and professional level. These skills are learned through a continuous realization of need for improvement. The definition of communication: the continuous, complex, cooperative process of verbal and nonverbal meaning. There are many levels of interpersonal communication that can range from direct or close relationships, such as family members or friends or coworkers. The 6 characteristics of communication that are identified by Stewart are meaning, choice, culture, identity, conversation, and nexting. To communicate effectively with others in a way that influences interpersonal relationships to a higher level of trust and freedom. To obtain level 1 listening, learning to develop the skills of empathetic listening. Having an increased willingness to be both open to and with others in my communication. To master the timing for asking questions. To use the I rational approach instead of the you blaming approach in communication. To use wisdom from God in every conversation with everyone, young or old. To be positive, to be most positive about life by depending on God to help me build relationships with others and others by getting to know them better. Enlarging my conversation. Involved. Identifying my communication needs, finding available resources to improve those needs. Enlarging the conversation can be understood in the sense of being able to keep the conversation going with 2 goals in mind, as described by Peterson. Ownership and openness. Taking responsibility for the feelings and thoughts that are ours. Openness. Make it clear that we are open to other people, that they too are people who have something to offer. Why is this important? There is a direct link between the quality of our communication and the quality of our life. The background behavior blends. The self-assessment, the personal assessment, and the communication skills assessment that we took at the earlier this term. The 4 distinct personality or temperament type of behaviors. You have the D, which is active, task-oriented, directed, dominant. I, active, people-oriented, inspiring, influencing. S, passive, people-oriented, servant, shy, steady. Or C, passive, task-oriented, cautious, and competent. My personal blend is a DC-CD mixture. I have characteristics of people believe I'm dominant, task-oriented, distant. Sometimes I'm responsive or detail-oriented leader. I believe I'm very, task-oriented, both active and passive. Would rather accomplish a task than relate to people, and prefer to lead by example. Why do communication barriers start? Well, we talked about this at the beginning of the class. Emphasize the listening barriers exist when someone hears what they want to hear and not really what's being communicated. What not really what the is communicated by the sender. So it's like they don't receive it as well. Communication barriers can be caused by various internal and external noise that presents itself in our communication patterns that will be discussed in the next slide. Internal and external. Internal, the things that we are doing internally to build barriers that prevent communication effectively. Being internally distracted will include filters, emotions, style of listening, and physical. External, things in the outside environment that interfere with the communicating effectively. Being externally distracted includes the way the talker speaks, looks, or behave, loud noise, room temperatures, visual environment, and interruptions. The overall focus is to listen with the heart and not letting anyone or anything get distract you. No matter how noisy it is, the number of distractions in the environment, or how important the person standing next to you is. A great listener makes you feel like you are the only person that matters at that moment. My plan of action. Keeping my overarching goals in mind, my POV of being able to improve my interpersonal communication skills includes becoming more of a level 1 listener, being less critical and judgmental, understanding the qualities of my communication is directly linked to my willingness and ability to be open to and with others, understanding that my personal beliefs, values, and attitudes most definitely have an effect on my communication behavior, understanding that although that the process of communication is very complex, continuous, and collaborative, that's how I choose to respond to the next process and can determine the outcome of the relationship. Understanding that in order to be a truly effective in personal communications, this can only be achieved by opening myself up to others and listening with the empathy. My communication skills started from my childhood days. I will fulfill my overarching goals by being an empathetic listener. I will work on my pool grabbing and not being a fake listener. I will not let noise pollution get in the way of focusing on the speaker. This concludes my presentation. Thank you so much.